When you hear those iconic trumpets sound, it's not just a call to take in some great journalism. It's an invitation to sit with a great journalist. And from local markets to the national stage, from the Today Show, Dateline, to now CBS Sunday Morning, Jane Pauley has been gracing television screens across the nation for more than 50 years. And now she comes to us on our television screens right here in the Tampa Bay area, sitting with me to talk about her storied career ahead of accepting the Poynter Medal for Lifetime Achievement in Journalism.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, beautiful
Welcome.
lady.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to
Emerald.
meet you. Yes, I am. Well, we're so excited to have you here with us tonight, and it is such an honor to sit down with you. And this is such a huge achievement. Talk to us about what it means to you to be accepting this award tonight, especially at this point in your career.
Spending several days in my basement looking at what we call the archives, most of which my husband saved of clippings and letters and and portraits of hairdos throughout the decades. And honestly, in combination with coming here, I have been evaluating a, a career of many decades and going back in time and looking at her, which I think of as in the third person because she had no idea I'd be here today, and frankly, um, b- having some respect for a career um, that has been remarkable and has been good fortune, good luck, and but at, at this age, I'm more likely than younger me was to say, "Way to go." Um, and a younger me would have, believe me, would have, "Oh no, I don't see."
Well, you're certainly deserving, more than deserving. You talk about good luck, but you don't get to where you are and stay there by just having good luck. It takes a whole lot within. Talk to me about what is within you that keeps you going and driving yourself in this field.
I don't know because I don't think of myself as a driven person. But but you make a good point. For the many years in the beginning of my career, when I was 25 years old, and uh, and suddenly sitting in Barbara Walters' chair. Now, Barbara Walters at that time was the preeminent woman in broadcast journalism and was for every day in the rest of her life. So, why was I there? It was a question that really dogged me for many years, and I don't know when I stopped. Except looking back now, you do have to explain the durability that it's been 50 years in network and a few beyond that. And it has been remarkable. And I guess I have been a person who perseveres a lot more than I notice. I'm from Indiana,
Yes.
and that uh, requires some humility, and I still have that. Once a Hoosier, always. And I think in this part of of Florida, there are a lot of Midwesterners who know exactly what I mean. But I've kind of grown into, seeing qualities that a young person can't appreciate until much later in life. And I really am not just speaking about myself, but about you and however your career takes you. You will be looking back and admiring the young woman who accomplished all of that. And sometimes there were bumps and unexpected trips, and then 10 years ago to turn up on CBS Sunday Morning was um, well, I wrote a memoir, and the subtitle was "A Life Out of the Blue," and nothing came more out of the blue than my 10 years at Sunday morning.
Well, that is such a respected show, and the format of that show is so much different than what a lot of people, young people especially, consume these very bite-sized little bits on Instagram and social media and whatnot. What would you say, or what would you attribute the longevity and success of a show like CBS Mornings, that long format that you all do with the storytelling, to in this day and age, it's still strong?
Well, Sunday morning is a unique day of the week. People maybe at home, maybe the pace is a little slower, making pancakes or folding the laundry, or it's a quiet time and an opportunity to sit down and consume a story that has a beginning, middle, and sometimes a surprising end. The eclectic nature of the show, it is the vision of our executive producer, Rand Morrison, who really does put it together very much like you might put a painting together. He needs a little of this and a little of that, and has an hour-and-a-half program that is absolutely surprising. The beginning and the middle and the end are very different. It all flows together, but there isn't another program on television that can be created like that. It looks easy. It looks easy. Just get some interesting stories and tell them, and then put them all together. And it is it's not easy.
Trust me, I believe you.
It is not easy. But I don't know. I can't think of another show, another time period where you could create that kind of quality program that makes you want to sit down and actually finish a cup of coffee. And I would highly recommend it. And young people who have a chance to look at it can appreciate an actual story.
Because storytelling is something that unites us.
Mhm. Well, that's what makes the human human is story. I mean, the storytellers from around the campfire and the way back, the storyteller was always very important. And that tradition, I think, is built into our DNA. We have a gift for telling story and sharing story, and celebrating the storyteller. That's what our show really is all about. It is it's a collection of storytellers, all different. When I first started the show, I remember my first story, and I wondered, how do Sunday morning stories end? So I found out transcripts and other examples, and looked through them, and it turns out that every Sunday morning story ends however it wants to. Maybe it comes to a pithy statement, a conclusion, or sometimes they just stop, and then you see the sun. We have a collection of people who are so very good, and a history. It's such a gift to work at a program that does have a a history of consistency. It has always been the program that I described, though moving forward in time and changing ever so. But I'm only the third host of Sunday morning in decades. The first not named Charlie, and what a great program and a successful program. I arrived and in a program that had been number one forever and still is, and it deserves it.
And you do an excellent job.
Well, thank you for saying so. And if you worked in the company that I get to work in, you probably would be at your best too.
Thank you. I know we don't have a lot of time, but I would like to ask, as you reflect on your career and accept this award tonight, talk to me about what you hope your legacy will be.
Don't think of myself as having a legacy, but after many decades and in getting an award, you do feel compelled to find something. And in the 1980s, which is a very long time ago, but it was a very meaningful time, particularly for young women. My competition on ABC, Joan London got pregnant, first of her 3 children, and then I followed with twins. And then throughout the 80s, one or the other of us was having a baby. And after we had the babies, we came back to work. That really launched an awful lot of young women into careers of all different, whether it's teachers or lawyers. What these young women at 5 days a week doing, just having families and then coming back to work, was novel and important and noticed and not to be taken for granted. So as much as the journalism matters and the interviews I've been able to do and stories I've told, the opportunity to be on the cutting edge a lot of the time. Starting the Today Show at age 25 was the paradigms were shifting and young youth mattered. And then Charlie Osgood was 83 when he passed the baton to me when I was 65. Which number is more relevant? 25, 65, to start something new. And I'm still there. And the world has given opportunities that it didn't before. So I seem to kind of consistently ride the crest of change. I've been blessed with that opportunity, and I would like to cite the great stories that I have told, and there have been some very good ones. But I think my legacy is more the cultural and social opportunities I've had to just lead without intending to.
Well, we certainly thank you for every path that you have paved for all of the journalists that work alongside you and have come after yourself, including myself.
My pleasure.
And congratulations on your award.
Thank you. And thank you. And I'm just so proud. You've turned out great.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.